George Nathaniel Benson was born on February 22, 1920 in Moreland, Indiana, to parents Hugert and Cora Benson. From an early age, he always seemed to relish school and learning, and in his grades proved it quietly. He was a quiet, industrious young man and worked diligently throughout his early education years, graduating from high school with honors. From the age of 12, he had worked small jobs such as collecting corn cobs and proudly paid for his own suit when he graduated from high school. As a young child, George always seemed to enjoy mathematics and science courses quietly. And it wasn't long before he was to realize that he deeply desired to become a physician, but his dream was to be deferred for a while. In 1942, the Army of the United States of America summoned George into service where he served stateside. He quietly worked and excelled as an X-ray technician. It was not a surprise that he would also be awarded the American Theater Ribbon, the Good Conduct Medal, and the Victory Medal World War II. On March 20, 1946, he received his honorable discharge. And now, at last, his life's goals could be pursued. George immediately matriculated at Emmanuel Missionary College in Berrien Springs, Michigan, and quietly graduated 3 years later with high distinction. He quietly exited college, meeting the love of his life when she enrolled at EMC 3 months later to begin her studies in nursing. The paths of George and Lois would not cross again until nearly 4 years later. He quietly tiptoed away to enter medical school at Loma Linda University in California, completing his medical degree in 1953. The next year, 1954, while Dr. Benson was completing his internship at Cook County Hospital in Chicago, Illinois, he had finally managed to find his way back to his beloved Lois. He set about a brand new course of action, pursuing and wooing her vigorously, but quietly. On March 29, 1956, he realized his fondest dream came true when he married his beautiful but not so quiet Lois. In 1959, Dr. and Mrs. Benson welcomed into the world their first, definitely not quiet, handsome son, Paul. And 2.5 years later, the marriage was blessed with the second handsome, much quieter, Stephen, who preceded him in death. As the years rolled by, Dr. Benson set up a successful practice in Nashville, Tennessee. In 1968, the family served for 19 months as medical missionaries in Libya and Ethiopia, Africa. Returning to the States, Dr. Benson not only resumed his medical practice, but completed his studies in what would become his lifelong specialty, radiology. After practicing medicine for a short time, 4 years in Kansas City, Kansas, Dr. Benson and family returned to Nashville, where he practiced medicine at Meharry Medical Hospital. He retired from Meharry in 1998, but continued to work part-time until 2011, at which time he fully retired after 58 years of a distinguished medical career. For those of us who knew and loved him, he truly was a giant who died as he had lived in his life peacefully and quietly. His life was an example of the gentle effects of consistency, faith, love, honor, and dedication to God and to his fellow man. He leaves to mourn his passing his beloved wife of 55 years, Lois, his son Paul and wife Renee, his 3 grandchildren, Ashley, Mia, and Stephen, 3 step-grandchildren, Desiree, Carl Marcus, and Janae, and 1 great-granddaughter, Caden, his brother, Lowell, and his sister, Luada, and a host of doting nieces and nephews, relatives, and friends.